Hello people, and welcome back to part 23 of Noveria, our Cities Skylines snow build. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. And thank you for all the support last time out. You guys really enjoyed our downtown central transport hub build, and yeah, it's quite nicely, didn't it? Quite different, very different from Palaven's transport hub. I don't think quite as over the top, but still quite as beautiful nonetheless, I think. I'm happy with the farmers markets, and underground metro's getting a ton of use. Nice little elevated arterial running through here as well. I'm happy with this aesthetic now. It's starting to come together a little bit more. So yeah, thank you for the support. I really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the new intros and outros as well. Trying to get some nice custom stuff made for us all so we can all enjoy the branding a little better, right? So I hope you're enjoying it anyway. So in today's episode, we are going to continue to expand Noveria's downtown waterfront. Of course, last episode, we worked on a couple of different designs, excluding those two uniques there. Including our little commercial front, and then we now have some kind of media vibes over here, right? So it's all kind of slowly crawling around the side of the water. And in today's episode, I want to work on this bit here. We're going to put in the campus, stadiums, a couple of those, maybe the baseball and the American football. Also, one of the winter uniques as well, lots of nightlife and commercial. A little bit of tourism as well, an intercity train station, with a train line hooked in, underground metros to feed out of our plaza, and of course the continuation of the waterfront monorail. So, fair amount to do today, and currently we're not parallel with the kind of main feature in this area, which is the sunken rail. So we'll rip everything out, realign with the sunken keys, and then start to discuss our first asset orientation. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, so the first thing I want to discuss here is going to be the orientation of the new ring road. So during the Downtown Road Network frame episode, we laid down a couple of highway roads, however, reflecting on our inspiration of Chicago. The outer running road around the edge of the city is actually kind of larger, arterial 6-lane like this, right? This is kind of the vibe that it runs with. So this is what we're going to change up to instead. So we're going to snap onto the road guideline of the key, and we're looking to really snap these road guidelines to get our base framing. And I think we'll go possibly a tile closer than this. Want it to be very kind of tight knit, and then of course what we can do, immediately discussing some decoration patterns for the episode. Just come with a little bit of our vanilla dirt path, and then just draw these up to match with the stairs that appear on these keys, which will hopefully make our walkable seawall keys a little more active now that we're starting to factor in builds into this part of the map, so that should be quite nice as well. So we're going to align this just 2 tiles apart, come onto our angle snap here as well, and then a road guideline too. So we'll leave 2 tiles in between the 2 arterials as they continue to flow around, which does give us some decoration opportunities with pathways and fences and whatnot, of course. And then we're going to dive into the world of content creator stations, and we're going to grab the ground bypass train station, which is going to sit actually on the ring road itself, but linked over into the stadium build with plenty of pathways. So this should hopefully start to bring a little more spice and love into the ring road today. Should see some more people using it. Of course, it's a lower speed road, so it might not get as prioritized as much, but we can still do some nice things with this. So let's get it hooked in at either end, and then we can start looking at some stadiums as well. Okay, so let's dive back into the world of rail very briefly. So because we're running with a sunken rail system here, it's going to be really awkward to bring it over at that 3-step elevation to clear the key, and then back down like 3 steps again. So the only way we can really get this to hook in, it doesn't look too bad, kind of from my off-camera testing in the Discord, is just to bridge it under, or tunnel it under rather. So we'll come out by 15 or so, and then we'll come down, And then we'll just kind of slide under here, right? Ignore the shape of the tunnel. Come out here, come into our freeform, and then we can just merge into this junction here. Then what this will do is we'll also allow this to accept intercity trains, and then we'll feed this on a platform back into the transport hub. So this can now be a new internal passenger line, of course, flowing on our dedicated passenger line here. This is intercity trains. Okay. And then we'll also get it hooked in over on this side as well. For which I think we'll come out with another bridge. So let's align this to come over our canal. And then we can just hook back in, not like that. There we go, that's a little nicer. Okay, come off our road guideline. And then we can just get a nice little meandering curve as we come back into the train station. And then bring this down here. So already we're starting to generate some much more heavier transport vibes, right? Okay. A nice little waterfront station here too. Quite happy with that. Lots of walking paths back into today. Should see some people picking up the actual sunken rail keys as well, which will be good. So of course we want monorail in this area because it is kind of factored into the ring design. So let's come in with an arterial road. We'll probably run with cycleway, I imagine. Get some people cycling around here, okay? So we'll snap onto the key guideline, and then we want the monorail station to sit about here. So let's grab ourselves a regular station. That's going to be nice, and let's go for about there. Okay. It's kind of lined up nicely with the train station too. Won't be symmetrical because this train station's kind of slightly lopsided in its design, but that's fine. Not hugely bothered about symmetry today. So we'll come into our campus stuff, and of course we're going to grab the big old American football stadium, which is kind of the meat and potatoes of the build, right? This thing's a beast. Absolutely enormous. And speaking of sports stadiums, if you guys are looking to score some crazy discounts, please check out my affiliate link to Instant Gaming, which is linked down in the description below. Instant Gaming's prices are insanely cheap on all of your favourite games and DLC, and I also get a little kickback from your purchases, which continues to help grow the channel. But thank you for all your support. And some wonderful centralization. We love this. We love it when this happens. Yeah, monorail station centers perfectly with the American football stadium. I do, however, want it to face the other way because I want the, see the back end of it, how it opens up? I want this to face out to the water. So we'll come over by one more node and then just draw an initial kind of holding box or frame around the edge of our football stadium here as well. Okay. And then this will allow us to just flip the beast around onto this side. Alright. So it's going to blend into our skyline really nicely as well. Very much looking forward to the nighttime cinematics today. I hope you all are as well. So now we've shifted the angle of the road to start with the key. It now throws the canal off. But this isn't really a huge issue because the canal's not really factored into this area yet. So we will also redraw in this canal as well to snap in with the new guideline, just so it sits a little more symmetrically pleasing. Okay, so I have just knocked over the stadium by one tile and introduced an arterial to run alongside, I think just because it deserves that. Chunkier road, which now hooks into the bridge into the downtown. And then the monorail also just comes over our train line here as well, and then hooks into the ring, which is now totally 6-lane all the way through. I think what we'll do is probably during like maybe a little mini episode, because this doesn't really justify a full episode, to build a bridge interchange here. Not quite sure on the design yet. I'm thinking of taking in some inspiration from possibly New York. There's some very nice large kind of bridge intersections near Manhattan, so you might be able to get some inspiration from there and see what's possible with the vanilla game, of course. Okay, so let's start fleshing out our stadium waterfront now. There's definitely a few designs that I want to work in here. So let's come in with some roads first of all. We'll come on to road length as well. Now, big thing whenever you're near stadiums, I think this is kind of a given in most parts of the world, is there is a ton of car parking. And so we're going to generate some dedicated car parking right next to the stadium here. Of course, if you don't know how to do this, we will always cover it. For those that are perhaps new to the game and not as experienced with some of the tips or tricks, we want to paint out a district, fill it in. You do need the Green Cities DLC for this to apply the organic and local produce specialization to that district. And there are several patterns that you can get car parks to spawn. And these are 2x2, 3x2, and then 2x4. The 2x2 ones are probably the easiest to get in. The 2x4 ones take a long time. But these patterns will generate your car parks. So we'll get these in. I'm going to go for the 3x2 ones because they have like a little shelter on them. I think that heavily repeated pattern next to the stadium will look quite nice. So let's get that pattern in and then we'll see what we think. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this. We've gone for kind of 8 repeated blocks of 4 of these little car parks with the shelters. And I think the little V-wing that sits on the roof here actually works quite nicely with the American Stadium itself because of these little, I guess they're like floodlights, right? Yeah, they are. So I think that's a very nice design. Now, if you're looking for the road measurements here, they are just kind of 240 deep, and then you run them in lengths of 560. So really easy to get in. And again, much easier with plop the growables. I highly recommend that mod if you're looking to recreate some organic car parking. And then again, there's lots of nice fence designs here. Probably a little bit of farm fence would work nicely, just to help kind of border this centre walk. And then of course we can link this into different directions, maybe kind of down there, and everyone's kind of walking through the car park up to the stadium. And we repeat this idea over towards the front as well. We do have some 4x4 spaces available, so we can always squeeze in perhaps a few park plazas, although I would like to maybe have a little look at how we bring some elevated walking pathways over from here. So let's align them with the edge of the stadium, and then how about we go for a repeatable pattern of 4, and then this leaves us space to snap into the grid, which I think we'll grab maybe a university path, and then we will come out and come off the grid as we come to the canal, and then just slightly elevate over, bring these guys down, and then we can head straight under the highway here, which again is always more excuses to use more of our elevated kind of transport and walking infrastructure. It's always a nice time, right? See people moving around the highways now. We can start expanding our high rises out here as well, refining that skyline. So it's going to be nice now to start seeing the downtown really start merging into each other. I think when you first start a downtown, at least for me, when everything's quite separate and modular, it can be a little underwhelming, but if you give it enough time, care and attention, it can turn into something really quite lovely. So come off all our snapping. Let's just bring this down to this area too. Okay, we can possibly even link them together with a road across. Okay, but you know the assets we're placing here today, they draw so many people, so we have to make sure that people can get here as easily as possible. Okay, let's find somewhere to hook power in, and now we have our car parks. This probably will be just a quick temporary connection until we use some of our earthquake sensors to sync everything through. But we'll hope to start to see some folks arrive via various different methods now. So I mentioned I wanted metro in here as well, so let's come on to angle and road length, and we'll start to snap out a district here. Let's just come out more than we need at the time being, and let's grab ourselves. So we'll align the larger end of the metro station down here. Going to help decorate our waterfront too. Okay, so I'll get this hooked in. We will probably go for... So because this is a dual island platform, we can bring 2 metro lines out of this very much in the fashion that we did last episode, bringing in 2 metro lines here. So we can possibly feed one out of this way. So let's grab this platform here. We will come underground. It's a little finicky with the roads around here, but hopefully we should be okay. So tons of public transport already. Plenty of ways for people to get about. Always important when we're working with these large assets, right? And then we don't want to forget to bring in the monorail line now as well, which should be easily done. Let's have a little examine of our ring road. Already people picking it up, which is good to see. Exactly what we want. People staying out of the inner downtown to get around the edge of it. Coming to grab this ring road. Very good. We don't want the lights here either. We'll definitely remove these. Okay. And plenty of people arriving from the central station as well already. Yeah, so you see this? Don't want this to happen. We will give them walking paths to get back into. And of course we've introduced a ton of jobs into the area with these car parks. So we're going to want to introduce some residential as well. So I think whilst we'll refine this side of the skyline on Sunday's live stream, we will just temporarily fill in with some high density just to keep these car parks around. So we'll allow that to stay there. They shouldn't be too loud for them here. Yeah, they're in a sweet spot there. That's going to be fine for them. Let's throw something there as well. You know, just some temporary housing so the car parks don't abandon. But otherwise, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's return to our little metro waterfront that's starting to develop. And we'll come on to our angle and road length. We want to make sure that we're about a tile away. Now I think again we'll save a distance of 3 tiles between the main road and the arterial. Now there is a unique building I want to use. We're coming to our winter ones. We actually have the ice hockey arena available to us, which is a winter unique building. Of course, it hosts exciting hockey games between local and foreign teams. So using a couple of unique buildings today, I want to make something of an extension of the American football stadium. Almost as like some kind of second team training facility, or maybe the first team's training facility. Whatever kind of justification you want to place behind using these larger assets alongside the stadium. There is also the Matchday Stadium 2, although I don't know if we'll use this in Noveria. The regular football stadium. Unsure. I don't think I want it here because it draws too much attention away from the American one, which is, you know, like we said, the meat and potatoes. So we'll keep that in. Let's bring. We are getting a touch of terrain jank here. Let's bring it down maybe a tile shorter. There we go. There's also some assets within the healthcare tab that work nice in this vibe as well, including the sports hall and gymnasium, which we can place in. Also the community pool as well. And then if we come in with a pathway, let's just grab maybe a regular park path with no decorations. And snap into our grid and then start to box these in. Then when we come down to the kind of the path view here, right, you kind of get this, you know, this is the point of asset orientation and using assets to complement the other. Because we get this very boxed in feel, right? It kind of makes it look like a little dedicated training facility if you're taking this as a spice sample for this idea, right? Okay. Yes, please. So let's start running some small roads alongside this side of the arterial now as well. Feed that one through there as well. So I want to work with some micro districts here again as well. Using tourism and nightlife assets to create kind of like a little bit of a bar area, right? So it's going to plot the growables. So there's some really nice assets here. The 2x2 restaurant works really good. 2x2 beauty salon, which it kind of looks like a club, right? You can get away with it. Loads of the 2x2 nightlife assets work really good for creating this vibe. You can just keep placing them next to each other. 2x2 pubs. Get a little bowling alley in here as well. Let's jump into the world of leisure and tourism. There's a little beach bar or a pub. Souvenir shop maybe. There's a little seafood restaurant here as well. So basically, lots of 2x2 in tourism and nightlife is great for creating a nightlife waterfront, funnily enough. Who would have thought? And a few of the tourism assets as well. Definitely don't neglect or sleep on the tourism. I think it would be nice to have a hotel near the stadium. Now, those that follow the channel know I'm not really huge lovers of the hotel assets, but I think they have their place. We can maybe place one around here somewhere, or maybe kind of develop a little bit of a tourism district here to get some hotels near the stadium. Okay, this one's a nice one as well. I do like this asset. It's a little chungus. Bulky Gold Beach, right? not there though, but you get the idea. Different things you can do. Of course, don't want to forget that there is possibilities for road against road action if we want. Go on to just our angle on road length and allow some more of those 2x2 zonings to appear behind here, and you know, pack them in. So various designs we can do there. I think we're also going to bring another unique building into the equation. Of course, there is a ton of uniques around here now, so it's going to start drawing lots of people. We'll go for the sleigh ride. Maybe the sports team has like a bobsledding department, or team, rather, not department. It's not like a corporation or something, right? Let's bring this down into the arterial now, and then connect this in as well. Okay, so all that road network coming together now. And yeah, it's going to start forming here. We'll continue our nightlife vibes through here too. Okay. All right. There is one thing I like to do with the American Football Stadium. So it's a slightly weirdly shaped asset, but we can actually bring roads right into it here. And something nice to do is to actually bring in a little one-way system just to help the people move around a little bit easier. So as they come out of the stadium, they're forced to turn left here, so they're not backing onto each other to get out. And then they can just come down here. Junctions are a little close together, but these are only car parks. They won't draw vast amounts of people. It helps bring the road a little closer to the stadium, right? Fleshes out that concrete texture, which is what we've done here with our car parks. All right, this is basically like poor man's surface painter. All right. Can see how we just end the road a little bit sooner. It's nice. Really helps detail up the area, doesn't it? See slight texture there, but let's pretend we didn't see that. That's fine. All right. Okay. But not bad. So really, the key things now that I want to work on, again, is bringing some elevated walking infrastructure into the area. So we'll snap into our grid, and I think we'll stick with the university pathways. We're going to come up by 1 and double check our measurements here. It's 60, so we can repeat that measurement. Then we want to come up by 2. Again, incline's not too bad. We can get away with it, but we have to come over by that distance to clear the rail. Okay, and then let's see if we can line up with the middle of the tracks, which will always be appreciated, right? Okay, nice and level there. Start bringing folks over, and then we can come back down to earth by a distance of 128. And then we want to kind of align the descent to come back into the metro, and then as we come down to earth, no road length, alright? And then we can repeat this here again, so come back onto road length, another 184, going down by 2, and then off the road length as we come to the road, down to the earth, and then as close as we can. And this will keep everyone walking back in 2, so we'll get this set up on this side of the station as well, just so we have that symmetry. And this should continue to help frame our stadium here as well. Okay, so still plenty of folks arriving by the ring road and waiting for that train station too. Okay, it's unusual to see kind of an asset placed like this on the ring, but we can definitely get away with it. We certainly can. Yeah, still plenty of people moving around. Hopefully see some people grab the elevated walkways soon. Would be nice. There we go. Here we go. Here come the walkway ants. Always nice to see. We always like this. What are you guys doing? You okay? You're going to the skating rink? Olivia's going to Eggsy Heights. If she could find her way out. Probably because these directions want switching around. That would be tremendously helpful. We'll sort this out in our detail and time lapse. So this continues a 6-lane down into here. We're running out of heating. We're running out of water as well. Let's bring this down. Oh yeah, we are out of heating availability. Let's go and shut down a boiler station somewhere. We're getting a touch of abandonment from our regular zoned industry, so we'll want to just take a little bit of this away. It's okay, kind of as the city grows, maybe a few of our assets will abandon. Getting some worker demands here as resource demands too. Yeah, it's just a little bit of city admin that needs to go on, but let's go ahead and throw down just a quick little boiler station. I do want to make a dedicated kind of boiler area, maybe integrate it into the city's power plant, because they're quite power plant looking assets, right? When we come to work on that. No, but otherwise, not bad. Okay, this needs tidying up a little bit too. Which we will do in our detail time lapse, don't worry. Okay, but look at this. This is what we like, right? Lots of people walking. Very nice indeed. Okay, multiple layers of public transport action coming in now. Walking paths and monorail and trains. Starting to look a lot busier, which is what we like to see. However, guys, I feel like that does feel like a good place to jump into a detailing time lapse. We have a ton, an absolute ton of path work to do. Because we want to start linking people into our walkable seawall keys in various locations. Okay, start bringing through some designs here as well with maybe a little bit of palm and some nice kind of fenced off districts to help move into these kind of box off areas. Bring some fencing around our kind of tethered training facility next door to the stadium. And then lots of road detailing, bring through pathways here as well, which will help keep people moving back and to from here. And then, yeah, sort out the road network over near the interchange. This will clear up now because this will continue as 6-lane out this way and join up with the 2-way. Probably bring this rail back above ground as well. Not a huge fan of using the tunnels, although I'm aware we've had to do it here because of the key, but we can live with that. Yeah, just tidy up this little bit of road jank here, just so everything's nice and lovely and smooth and curvy. And yeah, all like the little usual detailing bits and pieces. Oh, look at this. Yes, this is what we love. Ah, couldn't you sit here all day and watch this? I am smiling right now. Love it. Absolutely love it. Amazing. All right, guys, let's detail it up and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, that is going to do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the episode, likes, comments and shares below really help out my channel, as does the instant gaming link, which don't forget is down in the description below. Equally as much, if you haven't enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a dislike as well. Really happy with this, and the traffic is absolutely amazing considering that there's 3 unique buildings here and an absolute ton of high drawing commercial. And you can see here just how busy the public transport is. Every method is getting absolutely slammed, so important that we have this much public transport infrastructure, including national and internal trains, monorail and underground metro to help support these really heavy sim drawing assets. But I'm very happy with this big commercial stadium waterfront and very much looking forward to those nighttime cinematics as always. We checked out High Rise City today on the channel, or yesterday for you guys because this is being recorded, so this goes out on Thursday, right? Whatever. I'll leave it at the end of the video and it's on the channel. If you want to go and check out High Rise City, we tried out a new city simulator, so if you haven't seen it, do go and give it a watch. Otherwise, I will shut up and leave it there. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.